Have you ever feel tired around 4 or 5 p.m.? Have you ever feel that you need a different kind of source of energy to keep with your daily routine? Have you ever feel you need to stop drinking coffee? So we will open the conversation today about this beautiful coffee culture in Australia, and also we are putting the cacao between. Sounds good?
Yes, sounds good. And where do you want me to start? Because when we talk about Australian as the biggest consumers of coffee, we are going into a very turbulent system around coffee, which is a big thing. Like actually, as a Colombian, I learned how to drink coffee here because previously in my home country, believe me, I used to drink more hot chocolate.
And believe me, I'm from Mexico, and we don't drink hot chocolate. We drink coffee. So that's the interesting things about all over the world. So I will just give a really quick overview how Australia and how the coffee arrived to Australia. So 1960s, Australia was in a marriage with was married with the English culture. Mm-hmm. So in 1960, all of the Australians, they are drinking a cup of tea daily. Mm-hmm. Since that moment, we can think that Australia separate from that influence, the British influence, mm-hmm. and another influence arrives. And that influence, in that 20, 30 years, is the American culture. The American culture that we see with all their franchises, right, with all the food, with all the drinks. Mm-hmm. And then Australia adopts a different kind of daily drinks.
Okay, but there is like some in history here in terms of how coffee arrives as a cultural thing. We have to thank the Greeks and the Italians who actually invented most of the drinks that we order when we're talking about piccolo, macchiato, latte, and all this, yeah? And then they try to just bring all the knowledge that they have, including how to be a barista, the machines, the art, frothing the milk. And you know how important is a barista in Australia. And then we're talking about around 1930s, where the migrants just arrive, like Europeans. That's how actually in Melbourne you can see more alive this culture. But nowadays, Australia have a lot of coffee owners, and it's a daily routine just to drink coffee, to take away, and it's a big thing. But it makes me think that we are not very conscious about the coffee we are drinking, including myself and seeing others as well. So,
yes, before we would like to jump to share our experience between this coffee, right? But you say really something really important that you said. Yeah, the first ones were the European culture, mm-hmm. the mm-hmm. Greeks mm-hmm. and the Italians mm-hmm. and maybe Turkish people mm-hmm. and all that kind of Middle East too. What I'm saying with American culture, I was talking more about the capitalism thing. Mm-hmm. So I read something that put me in a different perspective about coffee is the perfect drink of capitalism. And we were saying this mm-hmm. because our traditional working hours, mm-hmm. we can say 7 to 8 hours mm-hmm. per day, mm-hmm. right? It's not possible to finish your shift with the kind of energy that your body has you will require. So the capitalism is made to have an extra source of energy. One more thing. Peak hours. This is a fact. Peak hours in daily drinks in Australia, in coffee drinking. 9 a.m., 1 p.m., and some of them, they go to the third, 4 p.m., 5 p.m.
If you're lucky, because sometimes you have actually already 4, even 1 p.m. And saying this, it means that coffee is the perfect match for this zombie land that we are. Yes, let's talk about it and let's be honest in here. Do you know any other kind of drink that wakes you up, that gives you that energy? I know, and we're gonna tell you later. And I know that you at least gonna get aware of this, but you are at least spending $70 per week when you consume around at least twice per day your coffee. So it's not only about the consumption, but the money you're spending in a drink that maintains you in your job, which is interesting. Diego, do you still drinking coffee, by the way?
That's a really interesting question. I have to say yes.
Okay.
Not as a daily drink. As again, we are promoting a lot the rituals of things. So I just drink coffee as a ritual. And we have to say in big letters that the problem is not coffee. Not coffee as the bean, not coffee as the drink. It's not like, is coffee doing this to me? No. So we have to be more aware of the social interactions, our unconscious approach to things, that if we are not aware, we will keep saying that coffee makes you something. Coffee don't make anything to you. Saying this, I would say that I can recognize the energy of coffee, the energy of cacao, the energy of tea. Everyone can give you a different approach. I drink coffee when I know that I have to be focused, that I have to do a lot of things, like a multitask guy, a lot of meetings, writing, doing here, going there. And coffee helps me a lot. But not as a daily drink. Okay. Now it's your turn.
It's my turn. I consider myself now a cacao drinker, but also a chai person. And now I combine those two drinks, and sometimes I put my shot of coffee into one of those drinks. But when you mention ritual, I think Italians feel a little bit of upset when they are consuming their espresso, talking by hours about beautiful conversations, and then just the takeaway coffee take advantage. So what happens with the coffee here in Australia, even though Greeks and Italians and Middle East people brings the culture of coffee changed dramatically. I mean, there's the way Australians drink coffee, it's a little bit in a rush, I will say. Now after COVID or even before COVID, the takeaway coffee, it's a big thing.
Yeah.
And all around takeaway coffee of doing quickly, wake you up quickly, and it's just like this tremendous movement that makes me think that we need to get more conscious of how we are dealing with our habits. Yep. So let's jump into something that I want to say, and is it's impossible to say that Australia, we don't want to say that Australia is going to consume now cacao because it's a big industry.
Makes a lot of money.
It's the second industry most important in the world after petroleum. And I'm not sure in Australia, there's a lot of coffee owners, but
95%
95% of the people
that have coffee shops are owners.
Should be really good income. But what would you say, Diego, if people are still consuming coffee? How do we make people just to get more aware? So why there's so much easier to drink coffee?
Really nice question. I would say it's really easy, all of us, to be influenced by our social network. Imagine your 5 senses absorbing, smelling, watching coffee, see the coffee shops, you feel hundreds every corner. You feel people walking with the coffee in his hands. Imagine your 5 senses, how much information of coffee they are absorbing. You don't realize the day that you start doing that. But I can put you in a different situation. You are in the jungle of Mexico, and everyone is drinking cacao daily. You wake up, you talk with the cacao tree, you see the sunrise, you meditate. You will not think about coffee.
For sure.
So first thing is how the outside influence in us, and you are not aware. We have to be aware of that. The second one, and I think is one of the things that we love to share, is we need to be out of that system in a little way, in a beautiful way, in a sharing way. So as you said, drinking coffee make you that kind of routine that is really difficult to step out.
But how do you break the habit? Because here, as part of our mission in Frido, when we are in the markets, when we are having a conversation with you, when we're doing events, it's also for you to have an opportunity to make a different impact into your body when you consume something different. Try to replace, and this is something that I said and I share with people at the markets. I know you're consuming coffee, and my idea is not just to block or said coffee is not good. This is not what we're trying to say. Is just allow yourself and give you an opportunity to tell your body how does it feel when you drink or consume cacao. And because cacao have a different frequency.
Totally.
And we know cacao, it's the 100% cacao have 99.9 free caffeine. But the most important component is theobromine. And theobromine
give you that kick.
But that friendly energy to your body. It's like let's say it's like the good. It's like the good. The good part of the caffeine, I mean, it's part of the stimulant. Both of them are stimulants, but it's like when you are hearing at a radio station, and then you tune into this vibe that you just feel like so energized, and there's other tune that then you just put into another podcast or radio station that is just talking about news. So, and I know you need to hear that, but it's just, where do you want to tune? You know, because we are part of this system. And cacao gives you this opportunity to create not only a ritual for you, but also to track your body in which levels of sugar you are, in which state of consciousness, in what's going on with your liver, in what's going on with your skin. There's a lot of, can you imagine how many things happens to me? I'm not sure, you can talk about your perspective of cacao as having a tracking of what's going on today and how do I feel. So this is something that I don't do with coffee.
Yeah, I will say a few things that is the main contrast about coffee and cacao. Coffee is a rush. Coffee is to keep moving, keep active. Cacao on the other side is take your time, relax, be aware, more grounding energy. The second one, and I think it's really important to say, cacao is something that, as you said, is an stimulant, but you don't go to that peak quick, quick, and then you will not go down. The cacao, imagine this kind of frequency. You are in the middle, you are chilling, blah, blah, blah. The other thing that I love to share with cacao as a comparison is we love to share with our audience the way of doing the cacao, right? So you will see in the machines how the coffee is, the process of coffee. We try to bring you the ritual again. Take your time, take your space with you, with your friends, if you like to share with people.
And
right.
Even when you go to a place, if you know a place where they sell cacao and coffee, there's always this menu that have elixir drinks or cacao drinks, and see how it's different the way you approach.
Totally.
When you have conversations, and let's talk from the office perspective, if you're a business owner and you want to bring something different into the table and have a beautiful creative session, bring cacao. And not because we are saying to you this, just try and see where does your team goes when you're drinking cacao. The difference with coffee, and it's like it's just the way they impact.
Let me say another two things about the contrast between both that you remember me. One, coffee is blocking in your system, is blocking the substance that keep you relaxed. That's why you keep going like this. Cacao is open. Look the difference. Cacao is open your
vascular, or like your nervous system,
your nervous system,
blood pressure.
The other thing, and this is an experience of one of our customers. He is a business owner, and he started bringing to the meeting cacao to everyone. And cacao, compared with coffee, cacao plays in your creative side. It opens that part of the brain that if you want to create concepts, ideas, you want to create something new in your business or whatever, cacao allows. You cannot be creative if you are in a rush. It doesn't happen. It doesn't matter, you're a writer, a painter, or whatever. In a rush, you can do anything. On the other side, we have to say, coffee helps you to be more focused. If you want to do a few things like a multitask, it can give you that kind of energy. That we are putting here is, you can choose both energies with that awareness. You have different options. One customer says, I know I'm giving your cacao to all my staff, and I know which one of them they are not drinking it. Because we are not talking yet about the serotonin and dopamine. That is about our mood. Do you feel, honestly, that sometimes you are really kind of grumpy? Really bit more stressed than usual? That you can explode more easily with your daily drink, with your daily coffee drink? You don't feel that? Because maybe it's too much energy. And as you can Google it, the energy that gives coffee is something that your body was working before to stop the substance of coffee going in.
You mean the caffeine in your body?
Exactly.
Actually, it stays for almost 10 hours. And if you're not going to the toilet to just dilute that caffeine, it still stays for longer periods of time, but then you sleep and then again you go into the same routine. As I said, we are part of the system. But just to mention all the benefits of cacao, you said serotonin and dopamine. And that's very similar to the chemicals when you fell in love or when you are in a state of producing the bad things and everything looks like in a fairy tale. Yeah, as it's
Happy mood.
pretty. It's in the
Yeah,
happy mood,
happy
and
mood.
then that's amazing. But just to mention other one, it's 20 times more antioxidants than berries and even than green tea. So it repairs your cells faster than any other food that we know.
And we have to say this with big letters. Our approach to cacao is not as a hot chocolate. That's a big thing. Hot chocolate, you drink it when it's raining, when it's Christmas, and you see like the frothy hot chocolate. It's like, yeah, no.
No
Cacao-
marshmallows. No
Cacao,
marshmallows.
no
Okay.
marshmallows.
Ah,
Cacao
okay.
as a daily drink. Cacao as a daily drink. And saying this, our approach to cacao is in the most artisan way. As we said, since the Greeks, since the Italians, there is a ritual about everything, about coffee, about tea. We are sharing this before, hopefully, cacao is going to be a trend. We are sharing this before. Cacao brings you again, or cacao could be the next daily drink. So it's not about what is happening with the drinks, because there is going to change. We have coffee today. A new one is coming for sure. What we are saying is we have to know how we can use the plants, how we can use the energy of the drinks. If we are not aware of this, it's like the plants is taking control of us. So now coffee is controlling you. Because if you don't drink it, what is your symptoms?
Headaches?
One,
You get anxious?
anxious,
You probably don't go to the toilet
no
as
energy,
regularly.
no energy.
No energy.
And the thing about coffee, they say, is about the invisible problem is about the sleep. You are not sleeping well. It's the invisible problem of drinking coffee. If you are not sleeping well, that's one of the worst things for our body. How many years you have been drinking coffee? How is your sleep? They say you don't realize how addict you are to coffee until you want to stop.
Yes, and cacao is a really good way to understand where you are actually in caffeine. How much are you consuming? By saying the way we sleep, which is rest, because the body needs to reset. Probably you sleep, but you never remember your dreams. You never get into that state where your theta and alpha and all these states really go into a level that you need just to make your organs make all the work during the night.
Totally.
Or even when you sleep. And it's just all these things that we want to bring to you for just to think about it and just to give the opportunity to cacao in your body.
Just to give a try. Some of our regular customers, we have that proof of saying, I stopped drinking coffee. Now I'm drinking cacao. And again, we are not against coffee. It's just is that we are consuming too much coffee. We are consuming too much caffeine. So cacao is the balance. It's a beautiful balance. They are both friends. Trust me.
Stay there, and we tell you also why you can still consuming cacao as a daily drink, and other important facts.
Thank you. Welcome back again. We are here in our blue table talking about coffee and cacao and these both drinks cultural Karen, before we keep going with the benefits and what cacao can give to us, I will just to take one question more about how we can do to not be part of the system. How we can go out. And I think the beautiful way is to go out and to go in, right? Because sometimes we don't want to play in that extremist, right? But I would say, in my experience, and I would love to hear you, to for me, the first part or the first step to be out of it is when I try thinking about what was my real purpose, if I was doing in the right channel, if I was walking in the right direction. It sounds really general, but that comes with the idea of I want to drink coffee, I want to drink cacao, I want to drink tea, what kind of food I want, is connected with a certain purpose in my life. It looks like a general question, but I think all of these routines that we have, they have something before. So if you are drinking coffee, I have to tell you, it's related with your job, it's related with your family, it's related with your relations, it's related with the relation that you have with yourself. So sometimes I joke, sometimes not, when people say to me, I want to stop drinking coffee. So like, yes, but you have to maybe change your work. And that's the best thing, and that's the difficult thing. Coffee sometimes is just the last step. It's just the consequence of something. You are drinking coffee because you are working 8, 10, 12 hours and you are tired every morning because you have to pay a lot of things, because you have a kind of lifestyle that you want. So you have to see all around what is your life, what is your friends, what are you doing, and then after that it will be more easy to take decisions, to make decisions, to make you to going outside of that system. What about you?
Okay, there's, let's say, different things that I want to mention here, because you talk from the way how we can break the habits, and that's a book, I think, from Joe Dispenza. If you want to start actually working on how you break the mold. When you realize that you are part of this zombie land and you want to just stop, at least this is the first awareness. This is the first call. At least you doubt. At least you question yourself. And cacao is a self-discovery thing. Coffee is not, it doesn't make you feel or make you question yourself. Maybe you are a person who just questions things, but at least cacao, because all the way it conducts through your nervous systems and it's open your blood vessels and everything, at least it makes you alert in, wait a moment, what I'm doing. As Diego said, you need to change your job. Well, this is part of stopping you from consuming not only coffee, but maybe you are also consuming food that maybe is not healthy you at all. Maybe you are surrounded by people, or you're consuming information that is not good for. It's about everything. Not only consuming coffee, but consuming in general things that never nurtured your soul. So when you start a cacao journey,
that's important.
This is important. Not as we say that when you're consuming cacao, this is starting a cacao journey. And what is this cacao journey? Is actually breaking this habit and is get out of the system. You don't know how many times, because I work in the hospitality industry, and in other industries that are very focused and very hermetic, you can't think out of the box. Cacao allows you to not only go out of the box, but it's bring disruptiveness, bring creativeness. And I can tell you, working from Diego, that we are innovators not only because we question ourselves, but because we want to make a difference, make a unique selling point. We are a little bit rebels, to be honest. From when you're an entrepreneur and when you start a business, especially we can have a business of chocolate, but we are not. We just, how can we make the difference in a small impact into people just by saying this is cacao, drinkable cacao, eatable cacao, and not chocolate. And let's start from that point. So this cacao journey is also, it's a revolution. And that's why I'm saying to give you an opportunity. But sorry, I feel I just say a lot of things, but I'm trying to just put it together as a how to get out of the system.
Yeah. I will ask you something. How aware you are when you are drinking coffee, when you are drinking tea, and if you have drink cacao. Cacao kind of allows you or open the door to be aware when you are drinking the cacao. Give you that seconds to be aware of the cacao. It not happens with me with the coffee. Coffee wants me to keep going quick to my next activity. Cacao makes me to be aware in that moment. In my experience of drinking cacao, and we have to say, we promote the cacao as a drink. Chocolate is massive all around the world, and chocolate is eating chocolate. We are promoting the drink, and it's kind of different approach. I drink cacao daily, sometimes one, sometimes two. I never feel that I need cacao today. I never feel it.
Because when you consume cacao daily, you have to ask permission to your body. What do you want to drink today? It's not the opposite. It's my mind saying, yes, I want the flat white, I want the piccolo. It's the opposite. What do you want body to drink today? And we have the beautiful opportunity to drink 70, 50, 100 cardamom, yes? But it's the opposite. Yes. When you ask your body, what do you want today? Believe me, sometimes you don't even want coffee.
Yeah. And sometimes it happens to me if I drink cacao after 5 p.m., my body feels like it's a meal. Like
satisfying.
I usually eat something after 5 p.m. and my mind is saying we have to eat. But I drink the cacao. The cacao is a fruit. In Mexico, the cacao it's protein. It's a meal, I have to say. So I think another trick of how can we go out a little bit of the system, not against the system, just a little bit out to see how the system is working. Also is what is my mind, what is my thoughts, connecting with that experience. So I'm saying, my mind is saying, you have to eat. I have to disconnect a little bit. So like, I want to eat. I'm really hungry. I'm okay. Really? Really? I can start my day without coffee? That disconnection. That question will open a different approach of your day. Just to ask, before you're taking your coffee as a routine, do I really, my body, as you say, is asking me for a coffee? And maybe not because you feel tired, it's a yes. Maybe it's really tired because you cannot stop.
And we know sometimes coffee makes you happy as an illusion thing. But when you say also not be against the system, but just at least to try to separate from the system, not all the bodies are the same. So perhaps for you, Diego, that you are tall, you consume cacao and it's good for your digestive system. For me, it gives me a lot of, it's good for my, like money, like for girls, it's really good for our period. And it's a super plus. So it's, as I said, track what's going on with your body, not only if you ask or a permission if you want to eat something, just hear your body, but also it impacts in a different way. For you, if you consume cacao, how does it impacts into your body?
So, as we know, we have to share with everyone a few solutions, right? In our experience, first steps, right? First approaches. If they want to try cacao for the first time, the people that already have tried and they want to keep going with the process, the people that they are drinking coffee, 3-4 coffees every day, what we can give to them from our experience? What you will say?
First, to give them, if you never have cacao before, at least try once in a small dose, 20-25 grams, which means a cup of cacao, and see how your body reacts, because you need to be aware that cacao is a stimulant anyway. Track what happens to your body. That's one.
Yep.
You can mention.
Okay. I would say because 75 or 80% of the Australians are drinking coffee daily. So I would say to you, I know that you are drinking coffee. So let's try to swap one of them. And saying this, 28% of that 80% of Australians, they are drinking more than one. So maybe some of you, they are drinking 2 or 3 or more. So I would say to you, try to swap one of them. Maybe for you, the best is the first one, early in the morning. Maybe the next one you can try in the middle of the day. And maybe you can try the one that you are drinking 4 or 5 p.m. in the afternoon, just to finish your day. Chilling, more relaxed. So the first thing is, try to swap one of your coffees, right? With one of our cacaos. We have different flavors, different percentages. Also, remember that cacao, you can start from the 35% that we say it could be our first step. You sometimes you cannot jump to the 100. 100 is really bitter, is more strong, give you more energy. So it depends. Cacao allows you to choose where you are in your situation, in your step. So finding first a really good cacao is important, because some people try the cacaos like, wow, this tastes really bitter, don't taste like coffee. Different kind of cacaos, different ways to make it. You have to get something that really connects with you in terms of flavor, of tasting, of texture. If you really like the drink, in this case called cacao, will be more easy you to swap. So that's one. And the last one, Karen is going to say the last one.
The last one is, this could be another podcast, because we can have a lot, we love to talk about the cacao, but don't be afraid of trying something new. And by, in other words, cacao in parallel to other things. Try something different. So just jump.
Thank you so much
Thank you.
for being here, and see you soon.
And for your time, always. Thank you.